Hello, this is the Meet Mark podcast, and welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about business plans, but I'm going to call this Business Plan 3, for lack of a better term, where we're going to step a little deeper into it. And I'm going to talk about banks and friends and family. The reason I bring that up is that the leading reason for a small business to stop or go out of business is money. Typically, when they do that forecast and they calculate their money, everything's out of whack. Costs more, sales don't come around quick enough, or in fact does track along with your forecast. And with that all wrapped up and ready to go, you go, I need some money. And you look at your savings account and you go, wow, I got $10,000. That's a ton of money. Well, you look at your forecast and your costs, and you're going to be alive for 6 weeks. And nothing's going to happen, and you lost your $10,000. So now you turn around and say, where can I get some money? I got to get some money. And then you go, but I'm not in it for money. This is a passion. I just have to do it. Well, the problem is your savings account doesn't realize that. Your savings account just has money in it, and it's going down. That's a problem. So we go, all right, I'm going to go to family and friends. Family and friends are going to take care of it for me. I'm going to go out and ask my uncle, my aunt, my mom, my dad, a couple friends, do they want to give me some money? Well, there's another problem with money. They want it back. And that's always a problem if you're losing money. Somebody comes along and says, hey, you told me you'd give me that $5,000 in 6 months. You got nothing. So you got one person a little grumbly. Before you know it, you got two people grumbly. Now you can't even go to the family picnic because everybody's mad at you. So now we go back and we go, I'm going to go to a bank. Banks are going to give me money. So you're running off to the bank. I have friends of mine that said they could get money from a bank. They want to help small businesses in the area, blah, 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 blah. Oh, they do. Don't get me wrong, but they're banks. They want to make money on money. So you come in, they look at your real whiz-bang thing, and they say, oh, that's wonderful. How are you going to pay me back? And you say, well, you know what? I just bought a new car, and I paid it down for the last 3 to 4 months, and there's going to be some equity in that. So there's some cash there. And the bank says, is it being financed through the dealership? Yes, it is. Okay. So we got $30, let's say, from when we sell that car. But $30 I got left over. Did I pay everything on the car? Do I have repairs to do on the car? And before you know it, that $30,000 is now effectively the bank's. If something goes wrong, they take your car. So then you say, okay, sorry about that. What I want to do now is I'm going to not borrow against my car. I'm going to borrow against my house. Now, I am not a proponent of borrowing against your house, especially if you have any kids or you have any overhead. But some people, they're passionate, they're very, very open to risk, and they say, I'm going to put my house up. Well, we run into the same problem again. The bank says, how am I going to get my money? And they say, I live in this neighborhood where the pricing are shooting up on these homes. I mean, I paid $100,000. It's worth like $150 now. The bank says, well, that's just great. How much have you paid it down? Down to $90. So there's $60,000 in what we call collateral. Well, the bank's not going to give you $60,000. They may not give you much at all for fear that they're not going to be able to bump you out of the house when they need to sell it. So they go, okay, $60,000. I'll give you $30,000 on the $60,000. You go, wait, it's worth $60. And they go, yeah, but you know what? I need collateral. If the poop hits the fan, which more times than not it does, don't kid yourself, most small businesses fail. That's just reality. And now the bank goes, I'll give you 30. And I take collateral on your home. So now we're in a little bit of a pickle. Do we put the house up? Let's say you have a partner, does the partner agree? That's a big issue. That's a huge, huge risk to put something up like that. So I just wanted to walk through some of the avenues for easier money that you think is readily available. And the reality is, if it's readily available, they all want it back. I once made a joke to a bank. I said, they were like, oh, you should borrow some money. You should borrow some money. And I said, you know what? The loan I want from you guys, which I don't think you're going to work for me, is You give me money and I don't have to give it back. I said that with, tongue in cheek, but I didn't want to borrow any money. And we were in a position in the economy and how we're doing that they wanted to lend me money. I had the collateral, but I didn't want to borrow it and have to give it back. So that's not a loan. That's stealing. And I don't steal. So with that in mind, I just wanted to say thanks for taking the time to listen. I will be continuing on in this general episodes as we get into greater depth in the reality of starting a small business. So thank you very much. Have a nice day. I'll be back.